This is an eyeshadow collection video that was requested by Aline A. Thank you, sis. She actually requested a palette collection, but as you'll see in the video, I really don't have that many eyeshadow palettes, so I just decided to expand it to my entire collection of eyeshadows. I am not great at putting on eyeshadow, and I don't wear it that often, but I like to hold it in my hands, so I buy a lot.
So the first thing you're going to see me do is apply some primer. I'm using my NYX white eyeshadow base, and I'm just going to haphazardly smear it on my entire wrist and forearm, which is pretty similar to how I do this on my eyelids when I actually wear makeup. We're starting with my BH Cosmetics 30 Pan Take Me to Brazil palette. This is my go-to for all colorful looks. I've had it for a while. I'm starting with the purple shades. That grape shade that's third in from the left is beautiful. These blues are actually pretty well performing. The turquoises are awesome. The greens are pretty nice too. My favorite is the lime green I just swatched and the forest green I just did too. We're moving into the yellow shades now, which are definitely the weakest part of the palette. And I actually wrote off the palette for a while because of how weak the yellows were, but I realized I was wrong. The shimmers are all nice, and those two oranges are pretty good, but the second one in is a little bit patchy. And then the white duochrome is really nice for the inner corner. The black is fine. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good, and that's my BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette. It's a good standby. I love it. Moving right along, we've got another colorful standby, which is my Juvia's Place 9-Pan Zulu palette, which was $17, and I was obsessed with this palette for such a long time. I think about half of it is amazing, and half of it could be better, and I'll explain that more in depth when we go shadow by shadow. We are going to start with the orange shade. My goodness, these pans are gigantic. This shade swatches really nicely, but doesn't behave on the eyes as well as I would like to. It can be a bit patchy. Same goes for the yellow. I find both of these got a little bit of hard pan really fast. The brown that I'm swatching right now is really warm toned, so you can't really use it for like structural darkening up of the crease, but it's nice anyway. That turquoise is ridiculous. It's one of the best eyeshadows I've ever used. It's phenomenal. These three shimmers, the green, the turquoise, and the rose gold, are my favorite shimmery eyeshadows I've ever owned. They're so light reflecting, they're beautiful, but the glitters in them are thick, so if you use them on your lower lash line and you get it in your eyes, you will feel it there. Look at that shine, mama. Oh my god. This pinkish raspberry color is very nice, and it swatches amazingly. This purple shade, for some reason, swatches horribly, but behaves amazingly on the eyes. Any colorful look with that smoked out in the lower lash line is automatically elevated to a whole nother plane of existence, and I'm just gonna swoosh right on out of here. I really enjoy this palette. I'm glad I bought it. I think it's a great deal. The shimmers and the turquoise shade are fantastic, and the rest of them are also pretty good, but could be a little bit better. Okay.
This is my Z palette. I bought her because I ordered these two Sugar Pill shadows without ordering the Sugar Pill Pro palette, and I was like, oh, I have two single pan shadows coming to me. I should probably find something to put them in. So that's why I bought her. And let's go on a little tour de force of the cast of characters in this Z palette. These are the two Sugar Pill shadows. This is Flame Point and this is Buttercup Cake. This is not my favorite, but it is the best yellow eyeshadow I have. Like, it's kind of the best of a group that I'm not super fond of. But it is made better when I use NYX Dangerously Full Throttle Shadow Stick at I cannot say full throttle, oh my god. Anyway, it's okay. You see how it's just okay? It does blend nicely. She's cute or whatever. Next, Flame Point. This is also not my favorite. I don't know. Anyway, this is the single survivor of the purge of the BH Cosmetics Professional 10-Pan blush palette I used to have. This is a really pretty blush. I really like it. It's shimmery. This is the blush that like opened me up to shimmery blushes in general. I love her. She's beautiful. Coral. Wonderful. Over here on this side of the palette is a gold shade that was once in an e.l.f. duo that a friend gave me. The other shade in it was a horrifying gray color that had all the pigmentation of like, girl, I don't know. I cannot think of a funny way to describe this because it was not worth using humor to describe. It was a terrible gray eyeshadow. So I pried this baby out because she is an overachiever. She deserves the spotlight. Look at her. Look at her. Yes. What? It's more of an antique gold. I like her. I really do. In this corner, we have two shades from the Pure Cosmetics Night Fantasy palette that I, in anger, tore apart and took these two shades out of and threw away. This is the bronze shade. These shadows are really soft. They're not super easy to use, but they're very soft to the touch. They're like little kittens if kittens were made out of powder. It's a light bronze. This is daytime bronze. This is board meeting bronze. This is lunch date bronze. This is lunch dates, the dating app bronze. You feel me? You do. This is a silver shade from it. I wear silver eyeshadow approximately once a year. It's got a little bit of a purple twinge in it, I feel, and that might just be because it was next to a purple eyeshadow in the palette, but I think it's nice. It's really good for night looks. It's really nice on the lower lash line, but again, silver is not my color. These 5 shadows are all survivors of the purging of the Sonia Kashuk Eye on Neutrals 02 palette. They are all various shades of cool and warm browns. This one is nice for darkening up eyeshadow looks. This one and this one. And then this gray is like all over here being super pigmented for absolutely no reason. All right, sis, go off, work. These last 2 shades are the 2 newest additions to the Z palette family. They are the 2 shades that I was able to rescue from my violent depotting of my NYX, oh my god, my Milani. My Milani Vital Brights palette. The green shade is gorgeous, got a little bit of shimmer in her. Beautiful. This blue shade, Mama, oh my god, okay, let's talk about her. Girl, from the drugstore. I don't think Milani makes many matte single eyeshadows, but if they did and it was this shade of blue, I would buy 10 of them and glue them to my body and just wear them all the time. That's how much I love this shadow. The only thing left to swatch is my Modern Renaissance palette. So let's cue that up right quick. Here she is, Miss America. I love this palette so much. The shades in it are wonderful for me and my skin tone. It's easy to use, it's super pigmented, the packaging is pretty, the shades are pretty. It's exactly what I want in my shadow formula. I can use it as a primer. The price is a bit expensive. I was given this as a birthday present from my mother, but honestly, I probably would have purchased it with my own money if I hadn't. This palette and I have a torrid romance. I probably shouldn't go into further detail because I don't want this video to get flagged as not family friendly. Okay, let's start up here with Tempera, a shade that I never wear ever. Next up is Golden Ochre. Golden Ochre. That's terrible. This is Vermeer. She's beautiful. She's pigmented. Oh, wow, she is. This is my favorite thing to highlight my inner corners with. One Fresco is a really great all over the lid shade for me that I never wear for some reason. But it's like a great mauve-y kind of nude cool toned pink. She's a great team player. Next up is another shade that I never wear, Antique Bronze. Mostly because it's like the same color as my skin tone and it never actually shows up. Next to it is one of my favorite shades in the palette. This is Love Letter. She's beautiful. She's beauty, she's gray, she'll punch you in the face. Next up is Cypress Umber. This is the shade that I always use to darken up looks in the corner. Right below Cypress Umber, we have Realgar. This shade is a bright orange, and I love it. It's super pretty. It's almost like a salmony brown orange. I used to use this as a transition shade, and that was unwise. This is way too bright and way too orange to be a transition shade, and it made all of my looks look like I was trying really hard to be like Nikki French or some other like really absolutely painted for the gods Instagram beauty vlogger. Next up we have Warm Taupe, which I literally don't even know if I've ever swatched. Girl, what? Why did I wear that? That's a look. That's a color. Sure is a color. She absolutely is a color. Wow, we're rediscovering things about each other even though we've been together for such a long time. Our relationship is so deep and multifaceted. Oh, hey sis. I'm actually kind of in the middle of something right now. Okay. Are you going to eat my primer? Hey baby. Hello, good sir. You're gonna get eyeshadow on your face. Hi, beautiful boy. Here's the tea. You need to go somewhere else right now. He has eyeshadow on his paw already! You are not supposed to wear that. Anastasia is not tested on animals and you are not going to be the first one. Somebody call PETA. This is ridiculous. Actually, don't call PETA. So let's talk about the shades that I swatched when my camera decided to stop filming and not give me any indication that it had stopped filming. Venetian Red. Love her. Love the pigmentation. Red Ochre is right here. This is a great shade. I can wear this by itself and it looks good on me. I don't even understand the physics, the biology, the color theory behind that, but I love it. This is a great shade to blend these two into for like a really like smoky warm tone red look. This is also phenomenal on the lower lash line. Love her. Next up is Primavera, which is beautiful and another shade that I like to highlight my inner corner with. Next up, Burnt Orange. This is my actual transition shade. Love her. This is my other transition shade. This is Raw Sienna. This is what I use when I'm wearing something a little bit lighter. And I don't need as deeply orange of a transition shade as Burnt Orange. I think this is really versatile. I know there's some people who don't like it and think it's boring, and that's fine. Those people are entitled to their opinion. But all I know is that me and my Modern Renaissance palette are happy, and that's all that matters. This is some dynamic lighting. Hey sis, it's me, Fergie. Listen, that's my palette collection. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to follow me on other social medias, you can find me on Twitter at Lituationally and on Instagram as Nisi Pisa. Listen, mama, I need you to do me a huge favor. If you could go ahead and have an amazing day for me, that would be great. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Did I click too many times when I did that? Like, oh my, Alyssa Edwards, I wish.